Beautiful.
Okay, Laurence Gartel here. 50 years of digital art. It feels like yesterday. Not really. It's been a long run. I want to thank the Broward County Arts Council for making this possible. Without their support, it couldn't be. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate the extent of what they've done for art in Broward County and to be able to bring this live to the rest of the world. So we actually have a small studio audience due to COVID. We would have loved to invited 200 people or taken over an amphitheater somewhere, or maybe Marlin Stadium. Maybe that's next time. Maybe that's 75 years of digital art. God bless. Let's see what happens. Okay? But what I want to do is I want to talk about some of the art that's actually in the hallway so people have a big understanding, at least, to see where the art this is sort of like a collective of shows and exhibitions where the art has been. So Justin, if you don't mind, over here, let's start here with this piece to do the Marlboro Classic in Puerto Rico, done on the Amiga computer in it says 1995. I guess that's when I signed it, but it was 1989. With the Commodore Amiga, and everyone knows, of course, that I taught Andy Warhol on the Amiga computer in 1985. So this was after. Okay, on the opposite side of you, Justin, over here, this is a exhibition that I had in 1995, a cybernetic romance in Germany at Galerie de Gegenwart in Wiesbaden, if you've ever been. They have a fabulous casino there. I won't tell you how much money I lost, but it was really a lot of fun. The show, the Samara Art Museum in Russia. People said, you went to Samara? I've never known anyone to go there. I said, I didn't go there, but the art definitely was there. So that's good. Okay, the Palm Beach Photographic Museum. A lot of people here who came tonight were at this show. Even you, Barry Gross, I think you were there. Kevin, you weren't there. I didn't know you then. No. We were just like it was incubating in the universe. That's what happened. Behind you, Justin, is the Catamount Film and Arts, and that's in St. Johnsbury, Vermont. Nice. And this was their tribute artwork that I created for their 40th anniversary. They've been doing art up there. So, okay, another one here. This was a poster for an exhibition in Venezuela. And of course, with my great luck, it opened during a military coup. And so they had to get all the artwork back and ship it back, but it was like hiding because there was complete chaos in that country. You know, you win some and lose some, I guess. Over here is Illuminart in Staten Island, and basically they are promoting non-bullying to children, that children should play and live in a beautiful world together harmoniously. And so that piece was created to raise money for that. Underneath it, of course, Welcome to Miami, which was done for Richard Branson's Virgin Miami Central rail line. I don't know if you've seen a train pass lately, but it stopped during COVID in March. So the train is not running. The next one, this was for the symphony right before COVID in February. So they had a great concert here at the Broward Center. I don't know if you've been, but it's a great performance center. Fantastic. So I made the thing there. Charlie the Three-Legged Dog. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. I made I won't say my acting debut, because I did play in summer camp in West Side Story, believe it or not. But Charlie the Three-Legged Dog. Okay, for leukemia in San Francisco, a fundraising artwork that I created for them. Again, these charity things are to raise money for specific kinds of not-for-profits. Okay, the Globus family took me to Japan because I created a body of work called Nouveau Japonica in 1989, which was shown at the Joan Whitney Payson Museum in Portland, Maine. And the interesting thing about that exhibit was I replaced Van Gogh's irises at the Payson Gallery, which was then sold at Sotheby's for $53 million. I sold the irises. And my art replaced it. So the Globus family said, you deserve an award for everything you've done. We're going to take you back there so you can do a Nouveau Japonica 2 series. So that's kind of what the car outside sort of integrates the old and the new. Okay, I went to India to make a Bollywood film for Universal in 2005. And there was something in Ohio called the Ingenuity Festival. And so we made a poster, and we had Hewlett-Packard as a sponsor because I was printing all the artwork out on their printer. Okay. 2014 in Istanbul at a gallery, and the show was called Pixels of Identities. That's a nice title. I'm not quite sure what it means, but it really was interesting. This is another interesting thing called visual sound. Now this is pretty trippy. You guys can come down a little bit so you can see this stuff. Visual sound. So basically, what does that mean, visual sound? It means that you can take an image, like just look around you, and you could assign a gray value to something. So the floor is gray, the ceiling is a different gray, this pipe is another gray, the wall is gray, your shirt is a gray, Sal's black shirt is not 100% black, and Effie, you're all black, you're 100% black. So all of these things could be assigned an instrument. And so every color could be a value, and every value could be designated a sound, and it reads across the image as to what instruments are playing. How's that for a summary? Kind of interesting. I never did it ever again, just that one time, because it was so technical. All right, one last one here on this side of the wall. In Biloxi, Mississippi, a show called Digital Power Conference, where digital was boasting what it was able to do. On the other side, in Rome, 2014, a conference on generative art. And if anyone generates art, it's probably me. So this was like the official poster for the event in 2014. Above it, the only sort of like, quote, local thing was at Tobacco Road, the oldest bar in the state of Florida.
It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. They knocked it down. They put up a parking lot, I think, as the song goes. Amazing, but like the best place in all of Florida. I used to love going there. It was fantastic. The Apple Has Fallen by the director Maurizio Vanni.
History inside of the new building.
All right, Sal. Shush, as we say. Listen, here's the Monaco International Film Festival. Right before COVID, I did not go, and what did I do? I went to the toy fair instead. And that's why we're here, I guess. So this was for the film festival in Naples, Florida, 2019. This was for Design Electronica at the Museum of Discovery and Science in walking distance in 1993. That's when they just built it, actually. And they had this gravity clock in front. 2006, 30-year anniversary of punk rock for Max's Kansas City. The bar, which was like where everyone in the world went. I mean, everyone, from the Rolling Stones and Warhol and Roy Cohen and Diana Vreeland from Vogue. Everyone in the world went to Max's, which sounds very familiar because that sounds exactly like what Studio 54 was, except there was more debauchery in Studio 54 than there was in Max's Kansas City. Okay, as everyone well knows, this is like the signature on the wall. The 57th Annual Grammy Awards. They sent the Grammy statue to my apartment in Boca, and I wrapped the statue there, and I had weddings, bar mitzvahs, I had places to go, and I told everyone, I'm sorry, I can't do it, I'm wrapping the statue. And they said, you mean I'm not as important as the statue? Well, so this is what came out of it. 5.5 feet, the poster, the invitation, but this is actually the original one of a kind. I say one of a kind, but it's like the limited edition version that they did not produce. Okay, back to South Florida. Germany, over here at the America House in Frankfurt. This is a really great story. This is my Aunt Ruth, and it says here, my mother Carol thought every word her sister said was bullshit. That was only the beginning. Then there was Sister Natalie. So they didn't really quite get along. But here's the real story to this piece, and it says, Little Bit of Soul, the record, and it says, gosh, do you remember this song? I do. I was watching Gilligan's Island the one time I went to Aunt Ruth's house. It was 8 p.m. and my cousin Suzanne put this record on her small portable player. Ruth's older son didn't want me to know his friend Drew was tripping on acid. Now the story is it's a matrix of things. Why? Because Barry knows Drew. That's Barry. And Sal, our other friend, Sal Principe, lived around the corner from Drew. And Drew calls me up out of the blue a few years ago, and he goes, I don't know if you know me. I was like, I'm this guy named Drew. I said, what are you talking about? You're in the piece. I speak about you every day. This was in 1967. So this was like 30, almost 40 years later that the piece was sort of came into...
Some of the things he's stuck in the 45s.
Yeah, it was like stuck in a matrix, but this image was the image of my exhibit in Austria, which was the signature piece that was printed in probably 200 different newspapers. And, you know, who would ever think that a story that happened so many years later would become pop art? That's, I guess, the point of the story. Okay, the show in Venice, 2016, and another show in Bari, Italy in 2019, and The Face in 2014. Okay, I guess you can go home now. That's it. No, that's just the beginning. Are you kidding? There's 50 years of art here. My God, this is just a good break time. All right, now we can go inside.
That's cool.
We can talk now.
You can talk now, so yes.
Keep it going, right?
She can shut it, and then we'll...